Hey there, everybody. I'll let Audie go here in just a second, but I like bringing Audie the cat into these videos for a second, even though Audie the cat doesn't want to hang out with me very long. Alright, how you doing, everybody? This is Jason Heires, and this is My Essential Albums Volume 4, as promised, coming to you on a Wednesday. And today's album is one that kind of took me a while to discover. Now, this artist I usually kind of consider to be more of a best of artist, even though this particular artist has many albums. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have like 30 albums released. This is his second album that he released. It was released in 1969. It was the first album that he did with the band Crazy Horse. For you that know who that is, you already know who the artist is, but it's Neil Young, and the album is called Everybody Knows That This Is Nowhere. So I'll let you get a good look at that cover there. So this is the first album that Neil Young did with Crazy Horse. And Neil Young has done a lot of albums with Crazy Horse throughout his career. And but the thing about this particular album is this has some of Neil's most epic songs on it. Kind of the two definitive tracks on the songs, and they're both incredibly long songs. They're both over 9 minutes, and that would be Cowgirl in the Sand and Down by the River. Now these are just very expansive, jammy songs, and they really show the, Neil Young's influences and kind of the outgrowth of Buffalo Springfield and some of the things that he did with, with Stephen Stills. So it's a good album, and those two songs are just really sprawling, long, fantastic songs with a lot of good instrumentalism. And then, of course, the opening track, Cinnamon Girl, is another classic song for Neil Young. It's one of his all-time greatest hits. The funny part is you got these songs with a lot of really extensive guitar soloing, and then you have Cinnamon Girl, which is just basically a one-note guitar solo that goes, and that's it. That's all the solo is, and it lasts for about maybe 20 seconds. So it's kind of an interesting contrast there. There's some other good songs on this album too. The title track is good. Round and Round is a good solid song. And there's only 7 tracks on this album, but it's a good, solid album, and it's kind of the first of the 3, I would say, the 3 best Neil Young albums, which is this one, and then after that is After the Gold Rush, and then after that is Harvest. And I think, generally speaking, most people kind of consider those to be like Neil's best run of albums. Normally, I kind of think of Neil Young as more of a best-of artist rather than like an album-by-album artist. And honestly, the 3 big tracks on this album, Cowgirl in the Sand, Down by the River, and Cinnamon Girl, will probably show up in almost every single Neil Young best-of that anybody ever makes. If you didn't include those songs on your Neil Young best-of, you're kind of missing the point a little bit. But still, this is kind of the definitive Neil Young album. It really kind of identifies who he is as an artist. And so I give it a pretty strong recommendation. It's not, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a super classic, but it's definitely worth listening to. And if you like Neil Young, this is definitely a good album to look at. This is probably, in my opinion anyway, Neil's best album. Now, Neil has plenty of great songs, but from top to bottom in terms of an album, this is probably the one that I like best. All right, well, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a good one. Bye.